All right, we have another legal mindset fast facts video. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what this absolute blight on society is. What's catching up with them?
Today we have an update on how Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, is spiraling after his sentencing, giving out some misinformation, and how he could face potentially another year in jail if he is not careful. We'll get into that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew.
Facing another year in jail? Let's see.
American attorney, and this is a fast facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So in case you guys missed the trial, hopefully all of you guys caught that. The trial of Johnny Somali, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, was in February, late February, and it absolutely went horribly for him. It could not have gone.
Opening statements. Ramzi attempted to apologize and ask for leniency at last trial. I'm sorry, I don't think they're going to give it to you, especially after how many times you've been caught red-handed, handed pants on dick, just being a nuisance and saying that you weren't actually sorry for anything. Yeah. Oh, and never mind. I didn't even read the next part. And now he is back to insulting Korea before his final sentencing date on April 15th. Boy, we're a month out, ladies and gentlemen. We're a month out from seeing justice here. I don't really care. Yeah.
Worse. And one important thing to remember from that was Ramzi Khalid Ismail attempted to apologize and ask for leniency at his last trial. Prosecutors issued a very strong sentencing recommendation.
This is what justice looks like. He needs to go. You have to learn. You have enough time on this earth to at least repent for the dumb shit that you've done.
Which absolutely scared and shook him in the eyes of everyone who was watching him there in the court, especially the Somali conviction team, which has been there at every single trial, observing, watching, and taking notes, transcribing everything that's going down. And for all intents and purposes, he looked absolutely scared. But now he's trying to clap back, and he is kind of taking back his...
How is he still on a streaming platform? What fucking streaming platform would ever have this liability on there is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. What streaming platform is this? This can't be Kick. Is he multi-streaming? This looks like multi-streaming. Unless this is just an old stream and I'm just tripping.
Apology and going back.
Wait, let me see the comments. Bad enough getting cucked, but if you get cucked by a black guy, what? It's very good bullshitter. Somebody said you might as well sunset yourself. Damn, that's a little bit much there. Oh yeah, some of the comments. Okay, what are we watching now? Well, I mean, we're seeing the updates to the Johnny Somali. This was just released like 40 minutes ago. So 44 minutes ago. Fast facts on what's going on with the Johnny Somali situation. He has sentencing in a month. So we're getting ready. We're excited.
To his watching him there in the court, especially the Somali conviction team, which has been there at every single trial, observing, watching, and taking notes, transcribing everything that's going down. And for all intents and purposes,
is he the cringy one you showed me? Yeah, he is. He totally is.
Looked absolutely scared. But now he's trying to clap back, and he is kind of taking back his apology and going back to his old ways of attacking.
That's how you know. He will not change. He will not change. And I almost doubt that even prison probably won't reform this guy. Maybe, our hopes is that prison reformation would work, that it could work. I don't know if it will work. Because it doesn't matter how much leniency is shown, how much grace this dude is shown. He will take advantage of any situation that puts him on top. He's going to take advantage of it. He has clearly showed that he has no remorse. He has no sense of repentance. He will always take advantage of it. He's already talking shit. Korea,
right before he comes up to his April sentencing.
Really
Definitely
fucking stupid.
not a wise move.
No.
And this is something we've seen from him in the past, where he'll go in, he'll not get the attention he wants, not get what he wants, and he'll end up spiraling. And if he keeps spiraling and defying things and trying to fight back, this could end up with another year in jail. I'm going to explain exactly how today, because we have some new materials that we've gotten from the Ministry of Justice in Korea that lay out exactly what he's going to have to do after that sentencing, assuming it goes the way that we
like and subscribe,
that we see it will go, and it could end up with some more jail time. So let's start out with this. First of all, some fake news from Johnny Somali. He had posted this a while ago saying, "Oh,
yeah, I thought that wasn't the case at all. That he could not get that dropped or thrown out because it was going to be a criminal thing that they were searching for. Maybe I've done forgot, but I'm pretty sure he couldn't really have that dismissed.
My deep fake charges dropped. I got everything."
And it's YouTube. So he's just ban evading at this point, because he definitely got banned off of YouTube. YouTube was probably the first thing to ban his ass, because they have a really low tolerance to shit like this.
Removed. Obviously, that is very, very much fake news. In fact, we even have a confirmation from Bong Bong, who was also there along with the Somali conviction team. They had their lawyer access that court information and pull out that, hey, no, the recommendation was 3 years, nothing was dropped, everything is there on the record. All of these charges here, all 8 of these charges, including the 2 deepfakes, are still there on the record. So nothing was dropped.
I didn't think he
Another piece of information that was kind of misinformation around was that the deepfakes were somehow a different trial and there was a separate trial for those. No, there are separate trial dates throughout the course of this trial. The trial has been going on for several months, but it's not a separate case. So all of these obstruction of business charges, the Minor Offenses Act, the deepfakes, that's all part of one case. So the sentencing takes into account all of that. So let's go further to his apology before we get to what he said recently. So
can you imagine they bring this shit up in court where he was just immediately talking shit? Can you imagine? I don't know if they can do that, because I think they're just working on a verdict. Maybe. I don't know exactly what part or step in the legal process that they're in right now. And it's also different because it's South Korea, but still, can you imagine they're just like, Judge, they pull up a scroll and it just has a YouTube link or whatever, and they're like, Judge, this is for the jury. Put them in the box. They roll up the scroll and then they smoke it and they flick it at him. Put him in the box.
Once again, remember this apology. This is what he said in court. He was saying he sincerely apologizes for his actions and expresses remorse. He says, I've been held captive in Korea for a year and a half, during which time I've committed no crimes and learned to integrate into the society. So he's saying, okay, no, I'm now an appreciator of Korean society. I'm integrated, right? I'm part of this. I love Korea now, right? I did some foolish things.
There's too many points on a graph that we can look back and be like, this is trending nowhere but the same bullshit.
Influence alcohol and realize the consequences. I sincerely apologize for that. Having been born and raised in the United States, I did not realize how serious the consequences of these actions were, which would not be considered criminal in the United States, but could be in Korea. So this is what he said then. So let's tune in 1 second to what he is now saying about Korea after the trial. Once again, this is a recent comment.
You know what's really pissing me off, chat? Let me tell you what's really pissing me off. I think Korea is one of the stupidest countries in the world. I think Korea is one of the most...
Oh, you can't do that. You're just not smart. Oh, bless his heart. Oh, that's terrible.
Stupid countries in the world. I don't even think Korea is a first world country. I honestly think Korea is probably a second world country at best. They put on the mask and the plastic surgery. You know, majority of the here got plastic surgery. I think.
Okay, so what he's doing right now, criticizing. Shut up. My dog's going on. Shush, it's me. You idiot. I'm in here knocking on the desk. I don't even think chat can hear that. All right, sorry, my dog popped off. Anyhow, it's not illegal to criticize a country, depending on the country. There are some countries that's absolutely illegal. You do that shit in Iran, you're getting shot. Straight up. You getting your ass killed. You being put in a box. South Korea is not one of those countries. This isn't illegal what he's doing, but they can absolutely use this to say he shows zero remorse about what he did. He would do this again and again and again. Put his ass up, lock him away.
Is a second world country at best, because how are you so stupid?
And once again, he goes on ranting, rambling. I won't play too much more of this because there's a lot of cursing in it, a lot of this. But you can see how he is now addressing Korea, how he's now going back to attacking Korea, insulting the culture, insulting the system, trying to make himself into a victim, trying to make himself into a person that has been victimized here based on his race, which absolutely was not a thing, and trying to mock the entire system. Once again, that goes in the face of your apology or non-apology, really. That said, hey, you've integrated into society. You're loving Korea now. Well, apparently that's not the case. Now they're stupid. Now they're third world. All this stuff, all this insults that he's throwing at Korea. Once again, after this sentence, after his recommended sentencing, once he knows the consequences, he's flipped.
Oh, okay. So there's something else that's going on here, because he's claiming that Legal Mindset is claiming that he can get an additional year because of this incident. Okay. All right. I didn't think it was illegal. It's not. I doubt that it's illegal for him to criticize a country, but there is something in, okay. I kind of, it full circle. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
Flipping out. And why he's really flipping out is all of his plans are thrown off. So let's show you a little bit of what he was actually planning before he came to Korea.
Now, what are some of your next plays? I don't know if you want to give away the game or anything, but
okay, so this clip was initially, let me see, I think it was
now what are your
2024. Okay, I was really raging about this. He's still making videos. Look, that's clear. He's still making videos. That is a fact. But this was a little bit older. This is 2024.
Your next plays, I don't know if you want to give away the game or anything, but
I'm going to Los Angeles to do a 30-day 24/7 live stream. I have a condo ready and already booked in LA. I'm going to put the address out public to IP2, to YouTube, to everybody, to Rumble. Anybody could walk into my condo at any time in Los Angeles with anything and just bring.
What the fuck? Or what? What? No.
Content. We're just gonna do a 30-day social experience like Black Mirror, some fucking fish tank shit, but Somali tank. I'm gonna kick it off with doing the no jump. I'm gonna kick it off with doing the no jumper interview with Adam. Maybe do a with a Japanese girl and do some fucking World War II cosplay. Get the shit popping on Twitter, and then 30 days camera does not turn off with a cameraman live HD mic like this, quality up.
None of that is happening.
Oh my god, yeah, that's definitely not gonna happen. But for his own good, oh my god, for his own good, I'm glad it didn't happen. That would have ended up terrible, and probably he would have been hurt from that. Blasting your own address for a constant 24/7 stream is lunacy. Oh, I mean, this is like God's grace protecting this. No, I was gonna say something rude. This is God's grace protecting him from himself. He needs to go to jail. He needs to be put in a box because clearly he cannot be trusted with his own self. Okay. All right. I'm going down. All right, let's keep going.
At all whatsoever. So once again, going back to the apology, you can see that he's really a bit mad that this was not accepted by the prosecutor. This was not something they reflected on. They did not give him the sentencing he wants. He's crashing out all of his big plans in LA for doing all the heinous stuff he wanted to do, all completely canceled. He will not be doing any of that stuff at all whatsoever. He's going to be in a Korean prison, and that's not looking good for him. So that's exactly what's going down there. And you can expect that as the coming months pass towards April, as we come towards April, we're going to see more crash outs, more spiraling, as he knows the consequences are coming very, very soon. But let's get back to the proposed sentence and just reinforce this, because there's some details that need to be clarified here.
Prosecutor recommended 3 years in prison with labor, a fine of $150,000, and sex offender registration, which we talked about the previous week. That sex offender registration will more than likely carry over to the States whenever he does eventually come back. Damn. Damn. To quote Will Smith from the old Men in Black movie. Damn. Okay. Judge likely accept a recommendation or bit below. 2 or 3 years with labor, fine, and registration is very likely ruling. His 2 smartphones are forfeited. Yeah, I don't understand why we would end up like forfeiting his smartphones. It's very easily accessible technology. Like maybe just I don't know. I don't understand that. Just to get rid of all the shit that he has on there already. Like most of that stuff's recoverable. So that doesn't remove. That's not going to be the lone thing that decreases the behavior. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not going to be the thing that really decreases the behavior. That is just, whatever. Non sequitur or whatever.
So the prosecutor recommended 3 years in prison with labor, a fine of 150,000 won, and sex offender registration. And I've said before, it's probably going to come out to about 2 years. I would recommend say, okay, the judge goes under the recommendation. So 2 years, that's something that can be very reasonable with labor, fine, and registration as a sex offender. Also, his 2 smartphones are forfeited. So a lot of people were confused about prison labor. So I wanted to go back and hit on this because people were misquoting this or saying that they were going to send him to the gulag, and I said something like he's going to go be sent.
Yeah, I don't know what the implications of that is.
This isn't like human rights violation stuff, guys. With labor just distinguishes from imprisonment without labor. And labor is physical labor. So you might say that's more strenuous than office labor, correct? But this is not working in a mine. This is not like you're on a chain gang, right? This is something where it's more like factory labor. It's going to be very, very, very monotonous. And to be very clear, the labor prison is not
good. He's probably never worked a real job. I mean, I don't understand. If you've ever had to be on that soul crushing grind of doing 12-hour shifts, working at one station, moving a metal disc to another metal disc, or turning a big rock into a small rock, if you've never had that soul crushing grind, why would you ever put yourself in a position that would risk your well-being, your status, all of these things? Especially, you seem to have it fairly good, or you had it good. I mean, his reputation is ruined. It's probably never going to happen again. Why would you ever put yourself in that position if you... Yeah, I feel like anybody that would have been in this position to where they have grinded nose to the fucking grindstone. I don't see anybody risking, whatever. I don't see them risking their livelihood over some stupid shit like that. So he probably needs it. This is some good character building. Some of the best character building I've ever had was at a place that was soul crushing. Absolutely true.
The foreigner prison. So the foreigner prison is more cushy. It's more comfortable. They have a lot of amenities. They have a lot of classes.
It's bullshit. Don't need welfare. Just kidding. He probably couldn't handle it. No.
They have a lot of things to do there. If you go to a prison with labor, you are not going to the specialty foreigner prison. You are going to a labor prison. That is absolutely different. So he will be jailed with mostly Koreans, not mostly foreigners. So he's not getting the comfy prison. He's getting the one that's for labor. And as a sex offender, when he'll have to register for that, he can't interact with non-criminals. So he'll likely be doing factory labor. So making fish cakes, making license plates, cleaning the prison, maybe the toilets and the showers. Hopefully he doesn't drop the soap. We'll see. Agricultural and outside work, unfortunately for the cabbages, may be off the table. But I got to reveal, on the 20th, the Cabbage plushie will be available on YouTube's. We're gonna have this available. So for those waiting for the Cabbage plushie, that is coming within next week. And
nice
information.
Everybody, support Legal Mindset, the most handsome lawyer on the internet. Go get you a Cabbage plushie. Fuck, I can't even talk. Go get you one right now. Use code RealManzar in the link for 20% off. I'm just kidding. There's no link. I'm not affiliated. I'm not sponsored. None of that. People should sponsor me though. Just saying. Actually, I don't really care. It is what it, you know, making money while doing this would be nice, but simply do it for the love of the game, boys. Love of the game. This shit's just fun. It's just fun. All right, continuing
on that, including the giveaway, will be in the description below. But we're also having here his prison food. So this is the typical prison food in the Korean.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. That looks fire as fuck. That looks so good. Eat the hell out of that. Got the purple rice. Oh my god, you got some kimchi. You got some damn soup. I don't know what the hell this thing is. What the hell is that? That looks a little strange.
In prison, right? And this is only Korean food. So he's not going to be getting a special foreigner menu. He's not going to get, you know, something a la carte for him. He's going to be eating Korean food in prison with all the other Koreans doing it just like that.
Yeah,
which
you will get used to their culture. You will assimilate to their culture regardless if you like it or not.
Not exactly what he was hoping to be doing in LA. Now, this is something the Somali conviction team discovered, and if you would like to donate to them, you can go over to Ko-Fi and donate to the Somali conviction team that's been helping out with this. We discovered the sex offender registration system from the Ministry of Justice in the Republic of Korea. And this is the official paperwork. This is the official translation in English that's put out by the Ministry of Justice. So as part of this, you have a duty as an offender to register, and you must submit your personal information to a police station or to the correctional facility within 30 days of your final conviction.
Oh, this is not going to end well for him. No. All it takes, if this were to happen and he is subject to registration, all that has to happen is one person that knows who he is finds him in their town on the registry. He's gonna have to move. He's gonna have to live somewhere else. People are not gonna leave this dude alone for shit. They're not gonna leave him alone ever. He really screwed himself. And the thing is like he is so oblivious to the consequences of the actions that he's currently taking right now. He has zero clue. He is never going to be able to live a normal life. Ever. That's all it takes. Ad starts in a minute. I'm about to go piss. I think we have time for one more after the ad. So, chat, I'll be right back. But he's never going to leave. He's never going to live a normal life after this. All right, be right. All right, chat. Sorry about that. All right, chat. We're back. We should have some time to finish this one and then maybe watch another one. And then at some point today, I need to go touch grass before I start working on my other videos. My main video for next week. All right.
So that's your name, your address, your
he is so cooked, bro. He is so cooked. It takes one person in his neighborhood, in his town, and he is just ruined. There's no way that he's gonna be able to escape this. I kind of feel bad for the dude right now. Then again, I see all the suffering that he's done. A lot of horrible, like, what is the term here? He's done a lot of, I can't even think of the terminology. My brain's so fried right now. But he has not portrayed American culture in the best life, or in the best light, to these high trust societies. He has done so much damage to our reputation. That's what I was trying to say.
Occupation, your contact info, all your description, photographs, your criminal record, etc., everything. Now, Johnny Somali has been saying, F the system, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to fight this, I'm going to, rebel against this. Well, if Johnny Somali does fail to do this and does fail to do this in a proper way, what's the penalty for that? Well, the penalty for that is up to another year in prison. So if Johnny Somali wants to be such a bad boy, wants to fight the Korean system.
Wait, what? Hold on. I missed it. Did I just zone out? What just happened?
Somali has been saying F the system, graphs, your criminal record, etc., everything. Now, Johnny Somali has been saying F the system, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to fight this.
Oh, okay. If he doesn't register appropriately. Oh. Yeah, he's really screwed, man. This is bad.
I'm going to, rebel against this. Well, if Johnny Somali does fail to do this and it does fail to do this in a proper way, what's the penalty for that? Well, the penalty for that is up to another year in prison. So if Johnny Somali wants to be such a bad boy, wants to fight the Korean system, wants to go back and not do all these things he's supposed to do, well, if he doesn't submit that paperwork,
it's just gonna happen. Actually, I don't know if let's see, once he has convictions and then he's in there for a few years, he's more than likely going to come out a completely changed person. More than likely, that's what's going to happen. He's going to come out a completely changed person. And yeah, so I mean, I don't see him at that point. Is he going to be that much of an idiot to still be like, screw the system? I don't think he wants to face another year at that point.
He's going to be potentially jailed for another year and have a fine up to 5 million Korean won. So once again, this is a big thing for him. And I mentioned on my other stream, once he registered as an offender in Korea, that status may be able to transport over to the United States, where he would have to also report under SORNA in the United States of his offender status.
Yeah.
Now, the next...
Arquifa, welcome in. You plundered the junk of the truck and has found a book titled Caitlin's Last Will to Live. How the fuck did you find that?
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, welcome on in. We were just looking at the crash out of Johnny Somali because he is getting sentenced in almost a month. An exact month we are going to see something wonderful, potentially. Arquifa, hello. Yes, good morning.
Trial date, ladies and gentlemen, is on April 15th, 2026. The judge ignored Somali's stated wish to be sentenced quickly and instead set it for 2
Boy, oh boy.
So we've got the April date. This was also confirmed once again by Bong Bong through her lawyer on her X. I retweeted that so you guys can see that. So April 15th will be the final day of the trial. But I'll have...
It is funny that the judge was just like, we're going to make this as long and as painful as possible. And... do I disagree with him? Nah, I don't, honestly. Because it does need a lot of these. Okay. So for somebody that has resisted change and has been allowed to be shown grace over and over and over again, sometimes you have to be extremely harsh. Is Johnny Somali that cringy looking Paul wannabe? Yes, he is. You have to be extremely harsh. You have to be very aggressive, and you have to be very direct and to the point, almost like you are completely snuffing out a fire. You cannot allow the fire any oxygen to breathe. Disgusting. Exactly. You can't allow them to stoke the flames again. You can't. You have to fucking smash it. You have to treat this like I treat a spider at 2 a.m. on the wall. You know what I do? I mean, it's straight on site. I'm talking about 4 knuckles to the fucking face. Exactly. Fucking smash. I'm no mercy at all. Done. Out of here. You ain't paying my fucking rent. You paying my fucking rent? You ain't paying my fucking rent. Splendid Daddy, Splendid Daddy Bill does. He does pay my rent. But when I'm saying you ain't paying my fucking rent, Spider-Man, you knock your ass out. That's how you got to treat some of these people. Yep. Rip. Yep. Everything. Yeah,
have some more information out there because there are some other documents that the judge is considering in this case when he's making the sentencing. So we'll be going through those in the future. But until then, guys, take care, and I'll catch you on the next.
Oh, man. Legal Mindset, such a handsome lawyer. Everybody agrees. He's the most handsome lawyer on the internet. And if you don't, they're fake. They're fake. Completely fake. All right.